Hey guys, welcome back. This is Physicist Gamer here, and today I have decided to take a break from all the madness in the Half-Life 2, and today we'll be playing some rapid chess on chess.com. So maybe this will be a new series on our channel. So let's get started without wasting any time, and I will see you when the game starts. So I have requested a match and soon we will be playing a match. Yes, we have our opponent. He is Jello44 from United States. Let's make our first move E4, as Bobby Fischer used to say, the best by the test. Wow, our opponent replies in unusual fashion, playing the move A6, as you can see here, and he is trying to troll us, I think, by playing such weird moves that he can beat us by playing such weird moves as well. Let's try to develop all our pieces and let's defend our knight, which was attacked by this move. I usually hate this move because this move puts a lot of pressure on your knight, and this pawn is weak because this pawn is defended by this knight and it's attacked by this bishop. So let's just castle for now. We have very good development. Our position is looks very solid and he begins this attack. So for now let's just kick this bishop out of here, and they say that an attack on the flank must be met with an attack in the center. But if we right now, if I push this pawn here, then he will close it down. If I like push it here, then he may close it down. So right now attacking the center is not quite possible. So let's just get this bishop out of our way by playing like this, and only one of our piece has now left to be developed. So let's get into the game by playing this move. Okay, now he seems to be developing as well after playing those 2BS moves in the opening. I guess his knight is either going here or he is going for this break, which may not be so useful. So for now, I guess we just connect our rooks together and let's see what his reply is. And he is going very aggressive with this move, and I'm thinking about pushing this, but he takes, I take, then he takes with his knight and I don't have many options. So for now I think let's just get our, nothing is hanging. I think this queen is pressuring our knight, but it is sufficiently defended, I must say. So I guess we take our rook here and see what happens further. Okay, he decides to castle that side. So I think now the time has come for us to open up the position as well as this bishop, which will look here. And yeah, this was the predicted response that I had in my mind. And now that he has pushed this pawn, the center has become closed, and now our job is to maybe get this knight somehow here, get our queen here and begin the attack, because I don't see his attack coming through here. So let me just play this knight here with the idea of getting my queen here and then beginning some sort of attack. And I don't see a way for his pieces because okay, his bishop is currently seeing this. So if I move my knight, this pawn might fall, so I will have to take that into account before moving, otherwise I may lose my pawn, and if this becomes bishop becomes active, then it will also destroy my position. So for now I think I can play my queen here. That should be good. I am also very low on time. I will have to take care that I don't go too much low on time. Otherwise, his pieces don't have much scope, so I can actually relax a bit. But I will have to take into account the time as well, which is a very important factor. Let me just play my knight here, and I think this move will come, and in that case my response is going to be queen here. Then he takes here. I don't know what I will do then, but yeah, I think I might have already made a mistake if he plays this. Yeah, he has played that move. And I'm thinking, can I play this? Okay, let me calculate. If I go here, he takes here, I sacrifice another here, and then I don't think it will work out. So if I sack my queen for two pieces, if I take my knight here, he takes here, I take here, and then if he comes here, then I guess I go again back here, but I am not getting two pieces, I am just getting one piece for the, so let me just go here for now I think, and he can take like this. Yeah, he does take like that, so I have no option but to sack another piece and go into complete madness. Okay, now I think my entire position is crumbling, but I will have to take this maybe. And I think I might have a draw here because his king is too weak and I might have to go for the draw, or I can maybe try with my rook here. Should I try that? Okay, let me have a look at it. If I go here, let's say he brings his, okay, he can't bring the rook here, so let's say he brings his queen there. I give him a check, let's say, then he can't block, so the only option he has remaining is this, but then I go here, he goes here, and then I go here. Yeah, I think that should work. I think that should work. Even though I have a piece down, I think I have very good play against his king, which should be the deciding factor as of now. My rook also defends here, it also attacks here, and my queen is well positioned, and as you can see we had expected this move, but I think after this there is nothing much that he can do. I think he has the only move now is this. After that we play our rook here, and then I think he should be mated. Yeah, here, and now I think the only move is this, after which we can play either queen here or rook here. Both these moves should be winning, and as he resigns because he has no other moves, so that was actually a quite horrible game from my side, because I was, I think, completely lost at some point. If we check with the engine, I think this position should be good. Yeah, as you can see it's completely actually good for white, but I think I botched up with this move. Yeah, as you can see, our position was actually completely winning here. The engine says that 5.7, which may be bit exaggerated, but you can see that we are completely winning here. And like an idiot, I play this move without thinking that this move will come. Actually, I had thought of this move, but I thought that I will go here and he won't be able to take. But I forgot that the knight can also take, and that was the critical mistake of the game actually. But you can see that this engine is, although very not good, it still gives white quite the advantage, meaning that the position of the black king is very suspicious and very dubious. Even though we are losing a piece after he played b5, still okay, b5 is actually not a good move in this position according to the computer, but b5 is very natural at my level, I must say. Even like I think I would have played b5 here, because when you see a tactic that wins a piece, mostly at the 1700 level you will play that. So did my opponent. I don't think that was actually a mistake, but you can see that the king is very weak, and that was evident in the match. He took the piece here, and engine actually doesn't like my move, but I don't know what exactly am I supposed to do if I don't play b5. I think maybe just bring the rook here, or I don't exactly, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do an analysis after I finish my games, and then maybe I'll edit them into the video and show you guys what exactly was the very good move here. But after this position, we were quite successfully able to outplay our opponent, or I must say our opponent just blundered after his king got weak, and we were quite clinical in our approach after that blunder, or I must say after I missed the b5 move. So I guess we'll go for another game. This was a very quick game, and we will play another 10 minutes game. Let's go. So again we have got white, and again e4 is one of my favorite moves. My opponent plays e6, and this is my most non-favorite move, or I don't like to face this move. This is known as e6, the French defense, and I'll try to reply with d5, and in this position I play this, the Tarashed variation of the French. Okay, my opponent goes for immediate c5, and I like to reply to it with this move c3. It maintains my solid center control, and it also provides a good hook to my opponent also to later attack with this b5 before idea. But my opponent doesn't go for that. My opponent instead brings his queen out and tries to attack this as well as this. But let me just take my knight out, protect my pawn, protect this chain as well, and he also brings his knight out, furthering his attack on this pawn. But I think we will just continue our development, because for now, if you can see, one attacker is there. I can take back. If he take backs, then I can again take back. So I think right now I need to defend my pawn. I think I can play this move. If he goes here, that's very good for us, because no longer there is any pressure in the position, and I can bring my knight again back, which it can then go from here to here to here, where it can attack the king side. So let's see what our opponent does. Okay, our opponent goes for this pawn. In most of the lines, it is okay to give up this pawn, and still the position should be okay for us, because I think, okay, exactly I'm not sure whether my position is good or not, but it should be fine, because I think you can afford to give up this pawn, because black has wasted a lot of time in capturing this pawn, which is actually weak pawn, because this pawn can fall anytime, because you can see if he goes here, then this becomes a backward pawn, and we will get a lot of play around it. So our opponent decides that he will take this pawn as well. So let's see what happens with our opponent, whether do we get a chance to come back like last match, or we have to suffer. Okay, my opponent actually makes a very suspicious move. I think this just blunders a piece. But okay, maybe our opponent's idea is to go here, but he can't go there because our knight is there. What happens if I take? Okay, maybe after this, he wants this. But after that, I have this, which defends this thing. So let me just take this thing. I don't know what was my opponent's idea. Maybe my opponent's idea is this, or maybe his idea could be this, which is well defended for now. My knight is also well defended against everything. So I think my opponent just blundered a piece after winning the pawn, unless I am missing some very obvious tactic. I think my opponent has blundered big time. Okay, my opponent is not making a move very quickly, so that means that this move actually was a shock to him. I think he miscalculated that his knight is not hanging, but indeed his knight was hanging. And okay, you can see he gives a spite check, more like a check that you give like as a reflex action without thinking much. Okay, let me take with my queen. so that my king still remains safe. Okay, I have no idea what my opponent's idea was in giving me a piece, but this could be still a very interesting game as my opponent still has two pawns for the piece. So let's see what happens ahead. I am thinking of castling here, but that castling might go into the attack. So that's why I'm not right now rushing with the castling thing. I think even I should just castle on the short side as well by bringing my bishop here and then castling to this side, bringing the bishop here and then castling, because this thing looks very ambitious and very flashy, but I think the better idea is to just take the bishop out and then castle here. But me castling here also threatens a mate. Actually, it does not threaten the mate because the queen is guarding it. So let's just take our bishop out and then castle. Okay, our opponent also decides to castle, so let's castle as well. I think my opponent might just bring his yeah. My opponent brings his rook there. I think we can go here where we can put pressure on here. We can even go here, I think, where we can put pressure here. I think this is a good move because it will put a lot of pressure on this knight. But our opponent can pin us by coming here. Like if I go here, the opponent can come here and pin my knight to my queen. So that's also there, which I will have to see. But right now I think it's better to go here and then maybe channel our attack using this. But if my opponent goes here, then maybe I can go here. So sorry, if I go here and my opponent goes here, then maybe I can go here where the rook will no longer have any access to these squares. All these squares will be covered. This and this square is covered by my bishop. This and this square will be covered by my bishop, whereas the red squares will be covered by my knight. So I think this is not a bad idea. We are attacking his king. We are threatening some things. I think he might go for this juicy idea of pinning my knight, but I think it does not work because of this move. So let's see what our opponent plays. Our opponent also is thinking a bit after playing very quickly out of the opening. Sometimes that's very common among players to play the opening quickly and then think, because that's what usually the players at this range do. They know a bit of openings, a bit of theory up to at least 5 or 10 moves. Even if you are very good with openings, then you might know up to 10 moves also. But then we take time and my opponent makes a very good move, I must say, of kicking my queen out of there. But I think I can still maintain my queen on this file by going here. I don't know where exactly should I go. If I go here, then I don't see any much danger. Also my queen is very well positioned, I think, if I go here, unless my opponent somehow decides to kick my queen further. This move is not possible. As you can see, my bishop guards that square. My bishop has full control and I think it's better for me to take this bishop, but I think my knight is better than his bishop. So currently it would not be a good idea to take that bishop, is what I think. What I could do is I could push this pawn, but currently that's not possible because my king, the pawn is pinned to my king, so I can just push this thing and then maybe push f3, and that seems a good idea. Let me play fast because my time is getting very low. This is my first time, by the way, playing chess while commentating on my game. Okay, my opponent tries to do some fancy stuff. He wants to take my knight. Okay, I understand. Okay, I see. So his plan is to take here. If I take, then take here. But right now my queen also defends it. So that should not be a great problem. So right now let me play my rook here so that we can exchange of our rooks. Okay, he decides to take there. I hope he has seen that this pawn is guarded by this queen. I hope he okay. He has made another mistake. He does not realize that my queen was actually defending that square. So let me take his queen as well. And for now we have had very two easy games, I will say, and our opponents resign because he does not realize that b3 was actually guarded. And this is a very common mistake that players, especially beginners and even players at this level, as you can see, make, that we sometimes miss this long queen moves or even long bishop moves. Sometimes what you will see is that the bishop is here and it just scan through this, and sometimes you play the queen here and you think that it's mate, but it's not. The long bishop that exists here will just come and will take your queen, and you will be surprised that okay, how did I miss that move, how can I be so dumb. But like, it's very common to miss such long range moves. As you could see, my opponent here missed it. Sometimes happens. My opponent is clearly much stronger than this. As you can see, his rating is very high, 1730. I think that should be the top 90% on chess.com. But he sometimes you can sometimes come under pressure, especially when you are a piece down and you make such mistakes. I think it can quite happen. So we, for now, we have been having very two easy games, I will say, and we did not had to work much very hard in this game as well. We did blunder a pawn in the opening in this game as well. We made quite some mistakes, I must say. Although I think that my this move was a mistake. As you can see, even engine thinks that it's not that good for white. Although it is not too upset with me that for playing this move, because from zero point 0.7 it's now plus plus. Although this engine is not very good, still it shows some 004 or some advantage for black. But after that he won this pawn. I put my knight there, and then here he simply blundered the game with, after blundering this knight, he must have miscalculated by mistake. And then after this position, it was all about converting the position, which I think I managed to do in a swift way. Also at the end he just blundered this queen. So after not having to work that hard in the first two games, let's go for our third game, which might be the last game for this video, because I don't want to make this video. Okay, we are third time lucky somehow. I think my recording luck is somehow showing up, as I have got three whites in a row when I'm recording. So let me just again go for my favorite move with white e4. Okay, in the three games we have faced three different openings. In the first game, I think we faced e5. Then we faced okay, not in the first game we faced actually e6, a6 by our opponent. Then we faced e6, and now we face c5, which is known as the Sicilian defense. So let's try to slay this Sicilian and end our video on a high. So I like to play this move c3, which is known as the Alapin variation of the Sicilian, and most of the Sicilian players do not know how to counter this. So this is my favorite favorite weapon against the Sicilian. It has done quite the wonders for me. Yeah, most of the opponents will take here, which is actually not a good move. As you can see, now white has a beautiful center, and I can anyway kick his knight if he takes and takes here. Like immediately, that may not be a good move. And yeah, my opponent develops his bishop here. Maybe his idea is to come here and threaten my queen, but right now that's not possible. So let me just do simple developing move, knight f3, and with the idea of bishop going here. Okay, I think he is out of his preparation, or I don't know what is this move. Maybe this move prevents this thing and he wants to develop his knight, because at the 1700 move, 1700 level, as I have told you, this spin is can be very annoying. So let me just get my bishop out here, castle, get my knight out, get my bishop out. Okay, not there, that's a drunken bishop. Get my knight out here, get my bishop out, and maybe launch a very good attack against this king. So let's just castle. As I said before, I could also go here and then pressure this and this. So let's see what our opponent does. Okay, our opponent develops his knight here. I don't know what exactly his idea is, because if he goes here and then takes here, uh, like that position should be very dangerous for him, because his king is still in the center. With this file opening up, my rook coming here, it could get very dangerous for him. So for now, let me just play my knight here and play against this break that he wants, I think probably, because otherwise this knight move here, this move here, this move here doesn't make much sense for my opponent. I think my opponent wants to go here, but I don't mind that move, because anyway I want my bishop here, my queen here, and maybe if he castles we can get a very good attack. So for now I think my bishop should be developing here. I don't mind his move coming with a tempo. That may not be correct, maybe his idea is to go here. In that case I will just take it with my knight, but if he plays here, then I am very much happy to put my bishop here, then later here put my queen here and launch some sort of attack with this bishop looking here, this bishop looking here, this knight probably wanting to go here. Okay, he puts pressure on my bishop by playing his queen here. Till now, I am very suspicious of my opponent, because his moves have not been very good, I must say, but I am not a very great player myself, so maybe my opponent is playing well and I am just too naive to understand that these moves are actually good. But I don't think this and these moves are very good, because they just waste time in the opening. Not to say that I am completely winning or as such, but against a very good player, unlike me, let's say maybe a 2000 rated opponent on chess.com, maybe if you play such moves then you are definitely bound to lose. But against like players like me, maybe this move might work or might not work, that we will have to see. I think I could go for this thing, then this thing maybe. So let's calculate this thing. If I play e5, my opponent plays d5, then I think the position gets closed, and I don't want the position to get closed with his king still in the center. So let me develop further by bringing my uh, rook to e1. Then I am also thinking of bringing my this rook to c1, aligning with his queen, thinking of some nasty discoveries with bishop there, sorry, knight to d5. This could be a good idea, this may not be a good idea, let's see. Yeah, my opponent was very much afraid of that move, so decides to move out of the way. So I think now this could be a good move. After this I could even think of maybe sacking my knight like this, but that doesn't look a good idea. If I play like this, the position gets closed and I don't want my position to get closed. So I think this and this may be a good idea if my opponent decides to castle, or maybe he doesn't want to castle. So maybe for now I think I should play this and just wait for my opponent whether he wants to castle or not. If my opponent goes with his knight here, then I think this should be a good move, wherein my opponent should be forced to either take or play a move like this, which also attacks my queen, which is very good now that I think of it. Because when my opponent plays this and I play this, and then my opponent can play this, but then I can play this, and I think his knight is hanging and he has no good moves. Okay, my opponent decides to go full all out with his attack. Now should I go here is the question. I am not that sure whether I should go there or not, or I can even go here, but that also doesn't look good because the position simply gets closed. I'm also low on time, I'm almost 1 minute low on time. If I play here and he plays here, I think that position should still be good, because his bishop gets closed from here, and also then he can't develop here. So I think that position should be good for me. And if he decides to further kick my knight away, I am very happy to go here, which also then looks at this square, which is currently guarded by this pawn, but you never know, some tactics may come. And his king, I think, is super weak right now. We might game, yeah, he plays this move, but now I think with my queen looking here, my bishop looking here, this should be a deadly attack against him. So for now, let me just play a waiting move and see what he wants to do. So basically I'm trying to say that my opponent does not have any move except this now. Yeah, I had thought of that, and now I think my opponent's idea should be this. So let me just play this, preventing his knight from coming here, preventing this break. And I think he still wants to go for this break, but I think he doesn't have enough time for that. So I think he desperately wants to come here. So I think I should do something about that, because this break is in the air. So let me maybe get my knight here, then get I can get my knight here. So let the knight's journey begin to here, where I want to exchange this knight, because I think this knight is very good defender to this king. Yeah, my opponent decides that he will come here, and I think then he wants to come here. That is my opponent's idea. So let me just go here. But okay, wait, if my opponent comes here, then he will go for this bishop, and I don't want to lose that bishop. So if he comes here, I will have no option but to give up this bishop. Okay, I see. But maybe it's okay to give up this bishop, because for right now it's not doing that much. So if I play this now, okay, right now I can't play that. So if I play this now, my opponent plays this, I play this, my opponent plays this, I play this, my opponent plays this, then I play this. I don't think that should be a very good attack for me. So right now I may have made a mistake by playing this, but I think my bishop is a goner. So let me just play this here. I think my opponent will come here. That's a very juicy square for my opponent, and then also my pawn is hanging here. Okay, my opponent actually does not go for this idea. Interesting. My opponent does not go for that idea. Interesting. Okay, that was a very surprising move from my opponent, I will say. This also hangs a pawn here, but I think after takes and takes, that position should be good for. So let me just play this for now, and I think now my opponent has to go here. If he does not go there, then I can play this, and then he can no longer go there. So now my opponent has to decide what to do, whether he will plonk his knight here and then get kicked away with here with this b3 move, and then he might have to take knight takes e3, because I don't yeah, he goes for that, and I think I will have to give up this bishop by playing this move. If my opponent decides that he will just retreat, that's not a good idea, because then this pawn hangs and this becomes a passer, this pawn becomes a passer. I can just maybe then push it and win the game. Okay, I am so much down on time. I am almost 2 minutes down, so I should play very fast. I must say I am very good in time pressure, so that should not be much of a problem for me, but still I should not get complacent and do my best. This may be a move after which I might have to play here, and then my opponent might have a draw. Okay, my opponent actually decides that he will take. Now should I take with the queen or with the pawn? I think I'll take with the pawn, because in that way what I am able to do is I am able to keep the pressure on this pawn. So he might have to defend with either queen here or maybe even rook here. So let's see what he decides to defend it with, or does he even decide to defend. Also my idea is that I can again get my rook here, then okay, he decides to defend it like this, but that looks very dangerous. So my idea can be just get my rook here, take this knight here, and then sack my queen here for a mate. That is my idea currently, because I see his queen king is very weak. So let's see if he decodes my idea. I think he must have some idea of my plan. My plan is to sack here. If he takes, then takes this, and I think his king is checkmated. the move that he can play is either this, or maybe he can play also this, making a square for his king. Okay, I don't know about that move. Let me calculate. If I take this, then take this, then he plays it here, then I can play it here. He has to go back, and then what do I do? Then maybe I can take this thing, and that should be mate. Okay, that's not mate, because his king can, okay, let me calculate again. If I take here, my opponent takes here, I take again here, my opponent has to go here, I take my rook here, my opponent has only one move, that's here, then my bishop is still there, so I can take this, my opponent has to go here, I again take this, my king has to go here, I go here, my opponent again has to go here, I win the rook, and then I can win the queen. So I think that should be good. So let's see, I have decided to sack my queen finally after that calculation. So let's see where that takes us. Okay, my opponent decides to take. So let me go here. I can also pre-move this, but let me just stay here. Okay, I have no time apparently. Okay, let me play here. Oh, you can see that my rook is hanging currently. Let me go here. The only move that my opponent has is this. Okay, but I did not calculate that after playing my opponent can also go there. Okay, let me see. I think I might have miscalculated a bit, because I think after I go here I thought that my opponent will go here, but he can also go here, you can see. Okay, I may have miscalculated big time here, and I think it's time for me to resign, but let's play on for few moves at least. Okay, the game still continues as per me, because his king is still weak and you never know when your opponent might blunder. So for now my position looks very dubious, because I have decided to give up my queen, and also my time is very low, but I am hoping that I'll be able to flag my opponent even from this position, but that should not be your aim. You should first try to get a very good position. But as you can see, I clearly miscalculated that my opponent could go here in the end, and now my opponent is on the charge and he has decided that he will checkmate me instead of me checkmating him. So let's see how that goes. Right now you can see that his bishop is hanging, but at the same time my bishop is hanging. So what I could do is I could play my knight here, but that wouldn't hang this thing. So I think that should be a good move, me playing it here and then threatening this, but my opponent then may threaten this. Okay, but I have to now play quickly. I don't have much time for calculating all the lines. I think this is a good move for my opponent, after which I think I will play this thing. Okay, my opponent decides that he will go there, but that just hangs a piece. Okay, my opponent can actually take here now, but then I can go here and then take. Yeah, I'll think I'll go here and then take with my rook. My position right now looks very suspicious, because I am down an entire queen for just a piece, I think, because my opponent has a piece, I have a piece. My opponent does not have extra knight, but I don't have a queen. So, okay, I'll be winning this thing back, but I think after this, my king is also in trouble. But right now I am threatening this, which will win his queen. So he can give me one check, maybe I can go here, he can give another check, after which I can go here. My opponent can then go here, but then I can give a counter check like this. So that should be good for me. My opponent can also play here, but I think after some discovered attack, I think I should be good. Okay, my opponent is also coming low on time, and that should be noted because this position still can get very wild in the end. This position still has lot of tactics with his king being in front of my rook and my bishop ready to give him lot of discoveries. I can play this move. Okay, he decides that he will go there and he can then now go here, which I think is a very good move according to me. Okay, I then can't go here. Okay, he decides that he will play this move, but okay, now let me just give him a check. He can come either here, he can go here. Okay, he can't go there. Okay, he has only one move, which is this. Okay, now let me think. If I play this move, I think he has to give up his queen, and then I'll be a piece up. No, I'll be two pieces for a rook, but with exchange. Okay, I should not waste much time. Okay, this position should be winning for me with these two pawns, and also I should be able to make a quick work of him. Let me just get down here. My time is very low, as you can see. But okay, my opponent is also taking a bit of time. Okay, it's my move. Okay, my opponent has made a move, so let me go maybe here. Okay, I don't have a lot of time right now, so maybe I'll just stick to the game and maybe commentate a bit less. So don't mind if I am a bit silent right now because the game is getting very much intense. Still, anyone can win from this position, although I have two pieces for the rook. Okay, my opponent decides to give me a check. If I go here, let's say if I, okay, I don't have much time to calculate. So let me just go here. Okay, my opponent can give this check and then maybe pick up this pawn, but right now I am not interested in saving my pawns. I am just interested in saving my position. Let me maybe give this check here. I have this check and then maybe I can win this pawn. Okay, I'll be able to flag my opponent, I think, because my opponent just has 1 minute. So let me just pre-move this, and I think my opponent has resigned. Okay, my opponent has lost on time, and I managed to win all three games, and I am very happy. I think 1761 is actually my top rating on chess.com. If I am not wrong, still I will check and maybe let you guys also know. So I think that should be it for our first episode on chess, climbing the rating ladder on chess.com. I hope you enjoyed my chess, and if 1% at least you will be able to learn from this. I think if you are at my level or even above my level or even below my level, I hope you enjoyed my games. I hope I was able to entertain you in some ways. So if you are still here, as always, you know you have to like the video if you are till the end, and if you enjoy the content, make sure to also subscribe. I will see you in the next episode, maybe playing Half-Life, maybe continuing with the chess, or maybe some another game. Bye bye.